Bad Guys, in and of itself, is a decent movie. Honestly, I found it as a family-friendly movie. I'd give it roughly a 7.58 out of 10. It was very family-friendly. I wouldn't say a kids movie because Pixar has kind of proven with all their previous movies that you would at first consider kid movies. They're not. They're still very good family classics. So I like this movie a lot. It's one of those movies where it gives you enough to make the plot roll round, but doesn't quite take as much of it away, I guess. A lot of characters in this film. I think there's the five mains that are like considered the main cast. Only really five of them were kind of the main. The professor, the mayor, the snake, and the actually no, four. The snake and the wolf. The other three bad guys were mainly just side characters for the most part. And the chief was just sort of a like an obstacle in most of the cases. Wasn't really a horrible thing. But yeah, overall, I'd say I liked it. The animation I thought was all right. It wasn't as crisp as I was hoping for it to be, but definitely good animation.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I still think it's a kids movie. I think it's a movie that younger kids can enjoy from purely the animation and the animals. I think older kids will understand what the movie's talking about much better, and it's fun for adults. It's just a nice, good, family-friendly movie. Solid 7, solid 8. I had a really good time. I didn't know anything about this. They tiptoed into Zootopia territory just a little bit occasionally with the Wolf and the Mayor. Put that out there. But it was a good movie. Very funny. I don't know if it's a series or a single book, but I know it's based off of it. Someone described it as a cartoon Ocean's 11, which I haven't seen Ocean's 11, so I can't speak to the validity of that. But it was very funny. And my Kronk nomination goes to the police chief.
Yeah,
I
I could
can
see that.
agree with that. Also, I can agree with the Ocean's 11 since they did reference it in a moment in the movie, talking about George Clooney, who is the main character and the lead in Ocean's 11. All in all, I really enjoyed this movie. I can see Payson how the animation sometimes didn't match up. Mostly, I noticed it was mostly the background that didn't match up with the main characters and stuff. But I think other than that, I think it was a phenomenal movie. It was really enjoyable. So I would have to give it an 8 out of 10 as well. I just think it did a good job, especially with the way it controlled the direction it was taking.
It was very thought provoking for a story. There were points that you wouldn't have understood why, but they wouldn't explain it in flashbacks. I thought those were really good. Very good in
Mhm.
storytelling wise, and they did it well in this film. Never really explained why there were characters that were animals, like
And
anthropomorphic
humans,
humans. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't quite get, but I just accepted it.
I can only understand because they played off the role of storybook
It's essentially
stuff.
storybook
So
characters come
there
to
was
life.
like
Yeah,
exactly, so like Little Red Riding Hood and the
Little
wolf
Red Riding
and
Hood's the chief.
everything.
See,
Yeah, but I'm going based off of like the story of how,
That'd have been funny if Little Red Riding Hood was the chief.
hey, look, still could be.
I know that's what's funny.
the one thing that I thought was weird is that only the characters that were like important to the movie were animals. We didn't really see any other anthropomorphic animals in the
I mean,
background, and all the other guinea pigs from later on in the movie were
were
not
yeah,
sentient.
the only main character that wasn't an animal was the police chief.
Who was Little Red Riding Hood?
Yes, and that's why she wanted to catch the wolf so bad because it ate
Yeah.
her grandmother.
Life's a struggle.
That would make a lot of sense in a weird way.
That would make that line really a lot weirder when she says, I spent my whole life trying to catch you.
It was because she could never play the piccolo.
No, she never could.
It had some really good humorous moments in it. It was just as a heist movie, that's the word I'm looking for. I think it did a really good job pulling it off. 100% I can see how it would have got most of its inspiration from Ocean's 11, but you said it was a book. So, I mean, they still could have got their inspiration from Ocean's 11, which I think was also a book.
I'm looking this up. It's a series.
The movie or Ocean's 11?
The book, The Bad Guys. It's a book series.
Now, I will say I saw that the mayor was going to be some sort of have more importance than just being the mayor in this movie.
Yeah, like all the
Originally, I thought she was going to be the villain.
because I mean, yeah, I
And
get
I was
that.
like,
All the twists were I saw coming, but
yeah,
they were
but
still
they
good.
did it. They played it off good. When you get the twist, you're like, oh, well, she's not the villain. Then what is she? And then they play it off
Yeah.
well. They did a really good job, all in all, with keeping things hidden.
And
So
they really made a good use of the flashbacks and stuff. So
yes, the few that they had, they did a wonderful job.
I did not see the final twist coming at the end, though. I did not see that coming.
which
Oh,
one? The one where
I will be honest.
The good old
I was-
switcheroo, I didn't see that coming.
the good old
I
I
was like,
I wouldn't push it past him because I mean he did get that tingle and then there was that push pop.
I liked the very end, but who do you think put the final
Push pop in the
the
fridge.
freezer? And I was like, now that's
No.
good.
It was good overall. Very good movie. I quite enjoyed it. There haven't been any other animated movies that I remember coming out this year up until now, but it's in my top 5 animated movies so far this year. As far as Oscar nominations, I think Bad Guys will be one.
One thing that is kind of spoiler ish, so spoiler warning. One thing I don't quite understand is when couldn't the mayor have gotten them out of jail or the governor or whatever? Because she could have pardoned them, especially since she knew they had turned over a new leaf at that point in time, like she had.
Yes,
couldn't
but
she have-
it's also you also have to worry about like the political backlash
True.
on that, because you can pardon, but then you have a revolt and uprising with
And
the
I mean, they did kind of
citizens.
hint towards with the 1 year thing about them getting off on good behavior, especially with all the
I'm not
crimes they had
saying, Andrew,
committed.
that they're gonna have a revolt. I'm just saying that there will be protests.
Well, yeah, because especially the chief, she'll be, you killed my grandma, prepared to die,
Yes.
I think that might have been too elevated
Also, fair point.
I think that might have been a little too complex for the
Next,
childlike vibe they were going for.
True.
I
Well, they were
enjoyed-
also, I wouldn't say childlike vibe. I'd say family friendly sort of
Family
vibe. Because I mean,
There
to me, there's a difference between a kid movie and a family friendly movie. And this felt
Fair.
more like a family friendly movie than a kid's movie.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
So,
I also
which,
think that would have been less interesting.
it would have, but I mean, they kind of did hint towards her kind of getting them out earlier than they should have been out. So I did like
Okay.
that. One of the things I wish I would have seen more is more of Wolf and Snake and their friendship, because I would have liked to have just seen a little bit more of that. But I mean, we did get to see it at the beginning. It was
honestly,
good in the
since this is
diner.
so
I mean-
this is a book series, we might have started farther along in the series than like book 1.
Yeah.
Which might have had the like origin story of the 5 main characters.
And if
in a way.
and if they do another movie on this universe or movie verse or whatever, I'm totally game to watch the next one because it was good.
Which one thing I did enjoy was Snake in 2 scenes. One was in the beginning when they were attempting to steal the golden dolphin, and he had to dress up like a human with arms. And as he's walking, you can see the arms move. And he would like put his fake arm like propped up somewhere to look like he's leaning on something. I'm like, that's funny. Also,
That was-
how does a snake wear handcuffs?
They had it.
They had it, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, how's it going to restrict him at all?
There was one scene where they like chained him to the wall and then tied his neck into a knot so he couldn't like
Yeah.
slip through. And I'm like, first off, he's gonna die from lack of oxygen. I don't know. I think all in all, it was a very humorous, family-friendly movie.
I would say the Kronk Award for me would go to Shark and Piranha. I think those two were pretty funny.
This is true.
Shark at the beginning, I'm having a baby.
I think you're right. Shark is a better candidate.
I
The
think Shark and
yeah.
Piranha were both pretty good at that.
I mean,
So-
the police chief was humorous, but
she was humorous
trying
in
to
the-
keep it serious.
Yeah.
Aspect.
Whereas Piranha and Shark were purposely goofing around, but they were good at what they did. So they could goof around.
Yes.
Whereas the sheriff
Um,
had like not done her job and had done it for a while, or she
next,
tried doing her job and did poorly at it. So
I do have a question. When they went to the event that they were being deemed as the good guys instead of the bad guys, was the only people to donate the people there?
Field, probably.
I have no idea. I would assume so, considering that one guy
It's
was literally giving gold bars to the kid with the box on it.
that's
And
what I
part of
was
me was
assuming.
going, and part of me was going like, how is that kid still standing? Gold be
Yeah,
heavy.
that is a fair point. The fair point. Also enjoyed the fact of, just break out in song. That's a very animated.
Animated trope.
Yeah. I mean, and it worked. I enjoyed this movie. I don't really have any problems besides like the animation. So yeah.
I like the animation. I thought it was different.
I'm just saying it could have been a little bit cleaner. But other
Yeah.
than that, it's a wonderful, wonderful movie.
Thank you for watching, guys. Let us know what you think about the bad guys after you go see it. Make sure you bring your sunglasses. And I believe next week we kind of have a down week as far as movies we want to go see, or at least I want to talk about. So I think we're going to do Fight Club because not all of us have seen it, and it's a great movie. So we'll see you next time.
By
And
all, he means me.
it'll be like my 4th or 5th time. So we'll see you next week. Look out for the video where we absolutely do not talk about Fight Club.
Webbs, hit it.